The reason that most guys will not get in shape, especially in 2026, where we have so much convenience in terms of DoorDash and Uber Eats and Netflix, and you can do everything from your house, and you don't have to get up off the couch, and you can sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day with your Ben & Jerry's and your pizza and all that shit. The reason most guys won't get in shape in this time, in this era, is because most people, and this applies to men and women, but this video is targeted more for men because I help men, don't have the self-awareness or the emotional regulation that it takes to actually transform their body, okay? Because in order to transform your physique, whether you are starting from super skinny like I did, which I was 120 pounds soaking wet on a good day in high school as a junior/senior, super fucking skinny, still short, 5'4", from that to where I'm at now, 145 pounds, right? The biggest I've ever been was 160, but I didn't like that, so I cut it back down. So now I'm like 145, 147-ish. Whether you're starting from there or you're starting from, 200 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, it requires you to have a level of self-awareness that most people don't have. Because you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I do not like where I am currently at, and there is a higher version of myself in the future that I want to be, and I have to change my identity in order to get to that higher version. Most people do not have that self-awareness, right? Most people aren't even aware of their own body and what's going on inside of their own body, right? And when you get lean, and when you're getting lean, it requires you to be more in tune with your body and more understanding of your body and how it operates, right? That is something that is extremely important for getting lean. You need to understand the way the world operates. You need to understand what is going on around you in the environment, and what you need to remove or add to your life, and who you need to remove and add in your life in order to get to that higher version of yourself. That is a level of self-awareness that's required. Most people don't have that. Most people are hanging around with people that are bad for them, that are not good for them, but they make them feel not alone. They make them feel not lonely. Right? So people will continue to hang with those people that they call their friends because they don't want to be lonely. Meanwhile, these people are no good for them. They're getting them into trouble. They're destroying their body with poison, with alcohol, with the constant eating and pizza and all that shit. And that's who most people surround themselves with, right? When you get lean and you get in shape, you will lose a lot of people in your life because, again, most people will not align with who you want to be and who you actually are, with your identity, with your goals, with your habits. Most people will not line up with that. So you're going to lose people in your life that you might have thought you would be friends with forever, but every time you get around them, there's temptation, and they always want you to fall down to their level, or you just don't make the best decisions for yourself and for your future whenever you're around these people, so you have to cut them off. Right? That is something that comes with getting lean and transforming your body, is getting rid of old habits and old people that no longer serve you, right? And the second thing is emotional regulation. And this is huge because most people do not have emotional regulation in America, okay? There's a lot of countries, I'm not gonna speak for every other country because I haven't been to every other country, but most people in America do not have emotional regulation, all right? Most people, whenever they feel like they want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and binge eat Ben & Jerry's and pizza, that's what they do because that's how they feel. When they wake up in the morning, they feel lazy. They feel like they don't want to go to the gym. They're too tired to go to the gym. They're too tired to get out of bed. They're too tired to meal prep, right? That's all feelings. That's all emotions. That's where most people operate. Most people operate on that frequency to where they can't even elevate themselves because they're listening to their mind, okay? You need to understand. And there's this book called The Untethered Soul. If you're having a hard time regulating your emotions or understanding the voice in your head, I really recommend that you read it. I was gonna grab it, but it's under a bunch of shit. But it's called The Untethered Soul, right? I'll probably link it in the description. But it talks about the voice in your head and how if you were to just remove the voice in your head and turn it into an actual person, right? Like imagine the voice in your head is an actual human being and it's your roommate, right? Would you actually like your roommate or would you despise your roommate? Because most of the time, the voice in our head wants to lead us in the wrong direction. It wants us to do the things that are not conducive to where we want to be. It leads us to eating the pizza, eating the cookies. It leads us to sitting on the couch and not going to the gym, or sleeping in, or going out with our friends every single weekend. That's the voice in our head telling us to do that. But when you separate the voice in your head from yourself and you actually give it a body, you will see that you probably shouldn't listen to the voice in your head. You should probably regulate your emotions so that you actually have autonomy and control over yourself. Because listening to your voice, to the voice in your head, is not you being in control of yourself, because the voices in our head want to lead us to comfort. They want to lead us to complacency. That's where the voice in our head wants us to go, right? So you have to be aware of that, and you have to regulate that. You have to regulate your emotions in order to transform your body, right? If you want to lose 50 or 60 pounds, you can't be sleeping in. You can't be eating pizza when you feel like it. You can't be eating cookies when you feel like it. You can't be going out and binge eating with your friends when you feel like it. Everything has to be aligned with who you know you are inside, because a version of you that is lean and fit and feels better and is getting more opportunities and is dating better women and is making more money, that person already exists. But you need to regulate yourself and regulate your emotions and be self-aware enough to form the habits that are required to get there. Okay, so, whoa, all right, I just had a blank there. But self-awareness and emotional regulation are two of the biggest things required, are actually the two main things required in order for you to transform your body and lose 50, 60 pounds. All right, so if you need help with that, the link will be in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped somebody out. And I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I know I haven't been super consistent. I was just on vacation in DR, and I'm actually gonna make a video talking about some of the things I noticed in DR when it comes to the culture and the fitness level over there and things like that, and the food and how hard it is to actually be lean over there, because getting your protein in certain countries, it's actually very fucking difficult. So I'll leave that for the next video though, or one of these videos. But if this video helped you out, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you need help, the link will be in the description below. Book a one-on-one call. I would love to help you out. So I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.